Good afternoon, everybody. Here we are. We're here making a video, roasted chicken video for the grill here. Okay, so this is my second attempt at this. I'm just going to throw that out there right from the jump. So, yeah, I bought 2 chickens to do a roasted chicken video for the grill, and I think this is it's a good video, but it's a lot of trial and error kind of type of things. Nothing too major. So hopefully I'm going to be able to help you guys now. If you see something here that you guys might a way of doing things a little better, feel free, try it out. But here's the basics of what we're doing. Okay, so I went to the store, got 2 whole chickens, brought them home, got all my seasonings ready. And the seasonings that I'm using is garlic powder, smokehouse maple, Texas rub. This stuff here, this is really good seasoning. It's kind of like a sweeter seasoning. Some roasted chicken stuff here. And some of this stuff here. And this is I get this at the Spanish store. It's a meat tenderizer. Okay, and then on the second chicken, I'm using all of the same ingredients that I just showed you. And then I'm also on the second one, I'm going to be using this rub, applewood rub, in place of the smokehouse. Okay, rub. Okay, those are the only 2 things I'm going to do. So I'm doing 2 whole chickens. Now, for a binder, I'm using yellow mustard as a binder for the chickens. And all basically you do with the binder is you rub, once you rinse your chickens down in the sink and you dry them, you put the yellow mustard, rub it over the whole exterior of the chicken to kind of put so that the seasonings can bind to the meat, if that makes sense. Okay, so once you get your pineapples, you're going to slice the outside of the pineapples like along the skin line, and at the base of it you're going to cut inwards but not completely through it, so it almost looks like you ever see like those paper towel holders, how it's got the base around the bottom and the tube is in the middle? It's got that round base at the bottom. That's basically what you want your pineapple to look like. So you cut off the stem of it at the top. At the bottom, you slice inwards around the bottom of it. So once you put your chicken on there, it has a base to sit on the bottom of the pineapple, if that makes sense. So then what you do is you thread that through the bottom of the chicken. See kind of there, you see how that is? See, that's the base of the pineapple there. And then on the inside of the cavity of the chicken, you have your pineapple, which comes in through here. Okay, so once you slice through it, you're gonna have to trim. You're gonna have to trim the pineapple to fit the inside cavity of the chicken, or cut into the bottom of it to open up the bottom of it wider to make that be able to fit inside of it, if that makes sense. So then what you're going to be left with is you're going to be left with little pieces of pineapple like this as you're trimming it. So what I did with it is I broke them up and I just stuffed them in the top of the chicken. See here? See, there's going to be a little bit of room at the top. Not a whole lot, but just enough so you can fit a couple decent chunks of pineapple in there, which is probably not going to make that much of a difference, but hey, why not, right? Why let it go to waste? I mean, if you want to eat it, you can eat it too, but I say get as much of it in there as possible. So then once you get all of that pretty well situated, now what you want to do is you want to start seasoning your chicken. So what I found that works the best for me is I got a bowl like this, okay? And then I just took my chicken, and I'll show you on this one here. Like I said, I did one earlier, but I didn't put it on the grill yet because I wanted to figure out the best way of doing this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this inside the bowl, and now I'm going to start throwing my seasonings on. So here we go. So I got it in the bowl here. All right. Now I got I'm just going to start with one and start grabbing, and I'm going to start sprinkling it on. Okay, so first one I'm going to use is my roasted chicken. Now I'm going to come in with my garlic one, and then I'm going to go left to right as I'm using my seasonings, okay? I'm just going to keep doing like that. I mean, you guys, like I said, if you want to take your spices and put them in a bowl and mix them that way, you can do that. But me, I kind of go like this and just kind of eyeball it. You know what I mean? Like, you know the seasonings, what they taste like. You know which ones you like better than other ones. So, experiment with it. Make it your own. So this is good stuff here. The Smokehouse Maple, that's kind of a sweeter one. So I'm going to use probably a little bit more of that. The Maplewood rub, or the Applewood rub I used on the other one, so I'm not even going to use that one. Texas rub is it's basically pepper, black pepper, and smells like parsley. So it's got black pepper and parsley in it. So I'm just going to do a light coat of it. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I like the black pepper, but I'm not crazy for the parsley. I think in this combination it'll be good. Then I'm going to hit it with the meat tenderizer here. Throw that on there. You see, you can already see it's starting to get a good color there. And then lastly but not least, I'm going to use my favorite one that I like is this bourbon molasses seasoning. And this one I really like. This is really, really good stuff. I mean, I've told you guys this before. I use this on that one on a lot of different things that I use. But so now I'm gonna put my. Oh, there she goes. Sorry guys, I gotta get a phone holder one of these days while I'm doing these videos. One of these days. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip my chicken over. Repeat that process again on the other side. So again, I'm gonna start it up with my molasses seasonings on this side. This is the breast side now. You remember? You guys ever do that when you go to KFC or whatever? You go in there and you want to get a rise out of them. This is what you tell them, okay? So if you're in a drive-thru or you're inside KFC, Popeyes, whatever chicken place you desire or you go to, you go like this. When you order the chicken, they say, hey, what kind of chicken do you want? Tell them like this. Say, I'll take the breast, hold the nipple. You tell them that and you watch their faces when you tell them that. They're going to laugh at you every time, guaranteed. So that's just a little fun joke that I like to do to those guys, especially if they're young kids. They look at you like if you're serious, which is pretty funny to me. All right, so we're going to keep going with this. So we're going to keep going with the seasoning. That's the meat tenderizer. Roasted chicken seasoning here. Just going to go with that one. I got my garlic. Hit it with this. Nice little coat of garlic there. Good with that. Last but not least, Smokehouse Maple rub. This one I'm going to lay a little bit thicker because this has got that little bit of sweetness that I'm looking for. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my chicken here once I get my rub, and I'm going to turn it side to side and rub it down inside of there. Okay, so again, now I'm going to put it back up on the pineapple here. And I'm going to take whatever's left over at the bottom there, as much as I can, and dump it up over the top here. And I will show you what we are left with. And ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Look at that. Good bird. Good bird. It's going to be good on the grill. So when I'm cooking this over a charcoal grill, that's how I'm going to be making this. And then here is the second one that I'm making, okay? So like I said, they're making two different birds, same basic seasonings. The only difference between the one and the other is that the one, it has the Smokehouse Maple rub, and then on the second one, it has the Applewood rub. That's the only difference between the two. Outside of that, all the seasonings are the same. So I would suggest, like I said, cutting the pineapple first and putting it in the chicken first and then doing your seasoning after that. Because if you put your rub on first, which I found out when I did the first one, which is why I decided to do the video secondly so I could figure it out, is if you do your seasonings first and then try to stuff the pineapple in the chicken afterwards, what happens is because there's so much juices in the pineapple, it rinses all the rub off the chicken. So then you have to start all over anyways. So that's where I made the mistake the first time, was when I did it. So just keep that in mind when you're doing it. Because the first time I'm like, man, this is really not turning out. So like which I got it, but I could have done it a little bit smarter. So, but just so you know, all right, I'm gonna get this going on the grill here. I'm gonna be putting this on the grill at probably another 5 minutes, and I will show this to everybody during the cook as much as possible, and then when it's completely done. Okay, so it's about 4:45 right now. I put it on there about 5. Hopefully, it should be done probably in about 30 minutes or 45 minutes after I put it on there. All right, talk to you soon. See you later. I'll let you know how it turns out. We'll go through it together. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you as much as I can. I'm also going to post this on my Facebook page in case the whole video does not pop up on Facebook. You can also check my YouTube page, which in that one it should be as its entirety. Okay? All right. Talk to you later.